And with that being said, let's move on to another topic. This one is also something that I really found interesting to talk about, and I'm really curious to see, or should I say, hear, or your overall thoughts about this. So, this movie, ever since 2000, or should I say, this franchise, ever since 2013, it became a massive, massive success for Disney. They made so many, animated shorts. They did two movies for now, and now we're gonna get in 2027. We're gonna get a third movie, and then I think eventually in 2028, maybe a fourth one as well. Now, without any further ado, I'm talking, of course, about none other than the good old fashioned and okay, good old fashioned Frozen 3. I want to you and I never talked about in general when it comes to like Frozen. I mean, maybe we did mention it a few times, especially when we did our previous Shadow Council episodes. But I want to ask you, what is your overall experience with Frozen in general?
So I really liked the first Frozen. Frozen 2, I've seen bits and pieces of. I need to go back and watch it like the whole way through. I do think though, listening to the soundtracks for Frozen 1 and Frozen 2, I do think Frozen 1 has the stronger soundtrack for sure. But I really like what I like about Frozen is the world building between the movies. I think that's kind of cool. And I'm kind of hoping we see more of that with Frozen 3 and Frozen 4. One thing I will say is that I've heard, like you said, they're talking about doing them back to back.
Yeah.
So if they release like one in 2007 and one in 2008, the only thing I would say about that is looking at Across the Spider-Verse and Beyond the Spider-Verse, that might be a little bit too ambitious to do a year apart. It wouldn't surprise me if that changes. But
I mean, before you continue with your thoughts, I just want to say this. When I said 2028, I was only guessing because just like you were mentioning a few seconds ago, I knew that they were planning to make Frozen 3 and 4, back to back and everything. So 2028, it was just my guess. I think like the most logical release year, I think it might be 2029.
Yeah, they could have it in 2028 though, because I think they've been talking about like doing Frozen 3 and Frozen 4 back to back, like
They did
for a while. So
Mm-hmm.
it wouldn't surprise me if they at least set it for 2028. I'm really kind of curious to see what they do. Like, if it's going to be like, if Frozen 3 and Frozen 4 are going to have like sort of like some kind of like bigger connection to each other. It interests me that they're doing like them like so close together.
Yeah, I mean, like the overall premise, like the official overall premise that they released back in 2025, it basically says this. Like it says, in this new chapter, witness the wedding of the century in Arendelle as Queen Anna walks down the aisle and joins Elsa on a new magical journey filled with unknown challenges. And what's even more exciting, the royal family is about to welcome a mysterious new member, which I think like what they are talking about is. In this latest like D23, they revealed that Anna is gonna marry Kristoff. She's gonna marry Kristoff. So I think like the new family member. I think they're talking about him, Kristoff. Because one of the things I've seen they were showing when they were doing their own like slideshow and everything. You can see from one of the pictures that that Anna and Kristoff are gonna get married. And with that, the other premise that we also got was this: that the film will follow Anna and Elsa facing against an evil ice queen. In some versions, they say ice princess. Some versions they say ice queen, but again, that's irrelevant. an evil ice queen after she disturbs Anna's wedding. Which kind of I could kind of see it as kind of like a new addition to like the overall first synopsis they had for Frozen 3. But again, going back, I'm going to touch to the premise a little bit later on. I just want to go back to what we were talking about 3 and 4, like basically being filmed back to back. The only logical sense, because the only time we have seen movies filming back to back are movies that are usually part 1 and part 2.
Yeah.
For example, Harry Potter and Deathly Hallows, Avengers Infinity War, Avengers Endgame, like Avatar 2 and 3, The Way Out of Water, and Fire and Ash, and now also like Avengers, again, another Marvel like example, Avengers Doomsday, Avengers Secret Wars. Usually, like I said, so what the point I'm showing, I'm talking about these examples is because it really makes me feel like Frozen 3 and 4 are going to be like part 1 and part 2, which makes me believe that Frozen 3 is going to end up with a cliffhanger, and like the Frozen 4 might be like this kind of like final battle / confrontation between like their main characters against this like evil ice queen or princess or whatever.
Yeah, I could kind of see that, but you forgot. I have to take you to task a little bit. You forgot the most important thing to mention about Frozen 3.
Of course. Go ahead.
And you sent it. It makes me so happy reading it that apparently our favorite little snowman might find love.
Yep, there was even like a concept art on the slideshow on the D23, where you actually see like this female like snowman character. I don't remember what was her name, but basically she's gonna be like this love interest of Olaf, which is, again, she's basically a female version of him.
Now I hate to say it, but I can kind of see a plot twist with that.
Oh, you mean this is just my guess. For example, the Ice Queen created her as sort of like a bait.
Yeah.
You know what? This actually might happen. I'm not saying it's 100% official. Like, we don't have any information or leaks or anything. Okay, guys? We're just guessing. But the Frozen 3 actually could go that round when it comes to the female snowman.
Well, I remember the first Frozen, whatever. I remember my first showing of it, whenever Kristoff revealed himself, like or not Kristoff, Hans. Whenever Hans revealed him, whenever he revealed himself as the bad guy, like everybody in the theater gasped.
Oh, come on! I saw that the reveal miles away.
Yeah, I wasn't overly shocked by it. I kind of figured. I
wasn't shocked at all.
I didn't figure he was going to be like a bad guy, but I did figure something was going to have to happen because you could tell that Anna was paired with Kristoff from the beginning. I mean, you could tell they had the chemistry. You could tell that they were the end game. I just wasn't sure how they were going to get there. But that twist with her creating the snowman to like sort of entice Olaf, like or do whatever. I mean, like, that would be an interesting plot twist. I mean, I think it would be a predictable one, but it would be, I don't know. I mean, predictable works sometimes.
Yes. When it comes to predictability, it all depends on like the overall execution, I guess. Yeah. But okay, like I said before, the Hans villain reveal thing, I saw it miles away because like it was literally written on his face that he was a bad guy. And I will say this, between you and me, I was suspicious of him the very first time I saw him, but when he asked Anna during like the sing along, when he said, "Can I say something crazy? Will you marry me?" I was like, okay, he's the bad guy. I was like, okay, he's a villain, because every single action that he did, dialogue, facial expressions, everything he did, I was like, this guy is so suspicious. And basically, like I almost screamed in the theater, basically saying I was fucking right. I knew it. I didn't, but I wanted to. Anyway, going back to Frozen 3, like I know if you've seen, but basically on Twitter there was the like this leaked footage of like the kind of like sort of like a teaser trailer for Frozen 3, which kind of basically shows like the Kingdom of Arendelle, and you see like Anna, Kristoff, Elsa, all the characters like together, but during the wedding, and then all of a sudden you see like Elsa finding this kind of like crystal that kind of looks like ice basically, and if I remember correctly, it turned like into some sort of like an icy like barfly or something, and basically it creates a road that's like in the open seas, and they go across it, and they cross it basically, and then all of a sudden you see this like massive wave on top of a hill, a massive wave create this like icy butterflies basically, and then basically you see a hand coming out of it, a female hand, and basically she crushes this icy butterfly, and then basically turns into a cape, and you only hear like a few syllables, like I think it was like something like basically it was the Ice Queen, the villain of Frozen 3, and basically she says like something like we meet at last or something like that, and that's how basically Frozen 3 the teaser trailer basically ended. And I will say this. I'm glad that we actually have like an actual villain, not like a surprise villain, not like an overarching deceased villain like they did in Frozen 2. No, like I'm happy that we have like an actual villain this time, because I was saying it. I don't know if I was saying it to you or someone else, but I always said, like, when it comes to Frozen, ever since they first announced the sequels, give me an actual villain. Even though I was hoping for another power, but having like icy competitions, that's perfectly all right with me. But the last thing I know is that Jared Bush basically said that the new villain in Frozen 3 will basically give Elsa a run for her money. He basically said it might be a little more than what Elsa's used to going up against.
Yeah, see, I think that's a nod that it's going to be 2 parts.
Oh, absolutely. Like I'm telling you, my guess is Frozen 3 is going to end up in a cliffhanger, and Frozen 4 is going to basically be the continuation, also this like final battle between the evil Ice Queen and Anna, Elsa, and the crew. And also, have you seen the leaked footage of the villain? I mean, you don't see much of her. You only see her cape, her legs, her arm, and the back of her head.
Yeah.
And I think she's like either she has black hair or brown.
Yeah, I can't tell. It almost looks brown to me.
But the thing is, when I saw bits of her design, it kind of reminded me of the early concept arts when they were developing the first Frozen movie. So it made me wonder, did they actually use those old concept arts kind of like, as a sort of like an inspiration to create like a brand new villain? I mean, it's just something I wanted to share with you, because like her sort of design or bits and pieces kind of remind me of that.
Yeah, I can kind of see that.
And I'm kind of curious who's going to voice the villain, because from the voice I've heard, she sounds young. So I'm really curious who's going to voice her.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I don't know. I wouldn't surprise me. Well, I don't know if that'd be something I'd want to keep under wraps or not.
I think. Look, I mean, the movie's going to come out in 2027. I think like November or December. So they still have time to to keep it under wrap until the right time comes to reveal it. Like they still have time. So that's not a big deal for me. But all I'm just saying is that I'm just simply curious.
Wait, when does it come out? 2027?
Just a second. We do have a release date.
Oh, okay.
November 24th, 2027.
Okay. Well, that release date will do good. That's another. That's going to be another year where that release date is going to be a good release date. I think because again, that's around Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
It's also far enough away from Secret Wars that like there won't be any competition.
Yeah, exactly. Because Secret Wars also comes out in in December, just like Doomsday. I'm sorry. I'm just looking at the legs of the villain, and is that like? Does she have like some ice wings on her shoes?
I'm kind of
That-
seeing that.
and I think her cape is like a mixture of purple and blue. I know I can go for hours, like discussing this little like sneak peeks we had for the villain. But also one thing I definitely noticed from the leaked trailer, from the picture I've seen, not only you see the animation actually having an upgrade, but also it kind of made me feel like they made the characters older
Yeah,
because
I can
Elsa
kind of see that.
because Elsa definitely looks like she's older, and even Anna looks older.
Yeah, I can kind of see that.
I don't know. I mean, maybe it's the animation. I don't know, but again, we don't even know from the premise. We don't even know when the timeline is set in Frozen 3. Like again, it could be like maybe a few months ahead, or a few months after the second one, or a few years. Who knows?
I think I'm curious too because they've all had like really good. I mean, arguably the first one is the best in terms of the soundtrack. I think, but um, I'm also going to be really curious to hear the soundtrack for it.
Absolutely, me too. For what I've learned when it comes to Frozen 3, it looks like they're gonna have also again they're gonna have some new original songs for Frozen, because I from the D23 from the latest D23, I think it was like the voice actors of Elsa, and I don't know if you like the voice actors of Anna was there as well, but I do remember they did say that basically they were like singing one of the original songs on stage.
Hmm.
Basically, let me just check.
Will you do that? Give me 1 sec. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, Idina Menzel and Kristen Bell were singing a new original song from Frozen 3 on stage.
Huh. I'm kind of curious what that song is.
Me too. Absolutely. Man, I cannot wait to see.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, I was just thinking, I cannot wait to see the voice reveal of the villain. Because I'm really curious. Because if they're keeping the voice under wraps, I believe it's gonna be someone big, someone like who's like very famous now.
Yeah, I'm sure they have. I'm sure they have a cast.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, from what I've heard, I think like the voice recording is already complete. I think, or at least like very close to the end, because I do remember like one of the news being that Josh Gad, I think it was like back in 2025 when Josh Gad basically confirmed that they were doing the voice recording. So maybe either it is done or near the end. Uh, but again, until like November 24th, 2027, like they still have plenty of time to like basically to absolutely complete the movie. But again, I cannot. I mean, I cannot. It's really difficult to decipher the overall premise, because the premise itself, for what I've learned, is basically something that even Frozen 2 was basically. And even though I agree with you, Frozen 1 is definitely better than the second one. I mean, I really liked the second one, but the only thing that for me was missing was a villain. Everything else was great, but they needed a villain. I know that they did the whole excuse. I know they did the whole excuse with the deceased grandfather and everything, like being responsible for what happened to the land and everything. But for me personally, I was like, nah, that's stupid. Like, that's simply lazy writing. I was like, I need like Frozen 2 need a real villain who's like alive today, not the post-mortem main villain or something like that.
Yeah, I agree.
Anyway. Do you have like so another thing? So basically, the last question I have is like, do you? So with everything said and done, what are your overall thoughts of Frozen 3? Like, with everything with everything you've seen and what I told you, what are your thoughts or your first impression and expectations for Frozen 3?
I'm really excited for it. I think it has a lot of potential. Yeah.
Okay, short and sweet. Perfect. Okay, with that being said, I think we're done. Yeah. All right, guys. One more time. The question is for you. What do you think of Frozen 3? Are you excited for it? What do you think? What are your expectations, your theories? Who do you think the villain is going to be? Who do you think the voice of the villain is going to be? What do you thought of the animation? When do you do you think it's going to end up in a cliffhanger? Basically, every single thought, question, theory you have about Frozen 3, just put it in the comment section down below and share with us your shadowy wisdom.